Hello again. Yes, I will do my absolute best to try and speed things up a little bit. Couple of things. We just got Logan's just gone off sick for about 2 months. He's got rather a serious illness. It's not a life-threatening illness, but it's one of those illnesses that knocks you out a bonk for like 6 to 8 weeks. So we're a little bit under pressure because we're a man down at the moment. That said, we're doing our best to keep on top of everything. So if anything's a little bit delayed, just bear with us a couple of days. I'm loving the comments. Thanks very much, Tony. Thanks, Badger, and all the other people that are either not in agreement or are in agreement. You know, I'm appreciating all the comments regardless. Now I'm going to take the mickey even more and show you again how, if you just get creative, how money can be made from absolutely nothing. Just rubbish. Absolute, pure and utter rubbish. I mean, how far do you want to take this collecting lark? Remember this? Yesterday. From yes. Right, these are the packets. Now see if you can follow my train of thought on this, right? Because some of you are going to just go, in a minute, some of you are just going to go, oh, Ian, please, you lunatic. Right, and some of you are going to want to call me a few choicer names than that, I'm sure of it. But just follow my train of thought here and see, am I really, you know, off me bits or what? So we've taken, for the first time ever, this has ever been done in history and all that for our coin collecting, whether you agree with it or not, doesn't make any difference. Right, for the first time ever, 500 non-release coins have been ripped out of the packaging, not with any great care. See, knackered, look, creased, everything. Didn't do it with any great care because I didn't think about this. Bits of glue and all that, right? Creases, marks, no care whatsoever has been taken with unpackaging any of these and getting the coins out. I just rip them open, coins out, bits of plastic, right? So, these are from the exact 500 coins that have been unpacked and are now going into circulation. You know what's coming now, don't you? Some of you now, you're starting to clock. So, in a weird kind of way, these automatically had an intrinsic, if that's the right word, value all of their own. This now has some kind of value if, and only if and only if the publicity stunt of putting in 400 or whatever coins into circulation nationwide across the country actually gets the buzz going, right? If that buzz gets going and it does actually work and the publicity stunt that we've just done actually works, then you've got people all over the country that are then interested, right? Now, there's an awful lot of ephemera collectors out there. People that don't collect coins or stamps or whatever, they just collect ephemera. And if you don't know what ephemera is that. Ephemera is rubbish. Ephemera is your bus ticket. Ephemera is your train ticket, your plane ticket. Ephemera is an old newspaper. Ephemera is an old leaflet. Just a leaflet that's come through the letterbox. Imagine a leaflet that came through the letterbox 40 years ago in the 70s or the 80s. It's going to be completely different to anything anybody prints now. That leaflet would be worth money. If those junk mail leaflets that come through your letterbox 40, 50 years ago, if you'd have kept all those leaflets, some of those leaflets would actually be worth money. Crazy as it is, but that is the collectible market that there is out there in the world. It's nothing to do with me, don't blame me for that. That's out there in the world. And ephemera is basically stuff that's printed in its millions and it's thrown away. That's why bus tickets become worth money. You know, again, the bus tickets, I used to go to school when I was 11 and I used to have to get the bus and it was a 2p bus ride and I used to get a bus ticket. Now, and I used to come home and throw those bus tickets away. Now, if I'd have kept those 2p bus tickets when I was 11 and 12 years old, I would be able to sell those bus tickets now for 5-10 quid each. And depending on what the route was and what the bus number was and all the rest of it, that ticket might be worth even more. So those are things that no one can argue with because it's out there. It's out there, and people do pay money for collectible, what you would consider to be rubbish, ephemera, right? The moment I took those coins out of these packets actually became ephemera on their own. And they are completely different to a packet that change setter sells brand new. I mean, I don't know how much they charge, so I've never bought any, but I think that they sell these like brand new and all that. You can buy 10 for a quid, or I don't know, a couple of quid, or whatever it is, I don't know. But these are the only 500 packets that enveloped the 500 coins that have just now gone into circulation. Now, if those 500 coins I've put into circulation get no hype whatsoever and get no value whatsoever, do not go up in value, nobody gives a monkeys, everybody goes ha ha ha, and wasted £3,000. So if that happens, then these, worthless, nothing, worthless, completely worthless. But, and it's a toss of a coin, this is how I see it, toss of a coin, right? Toss of a coin, comes down heads, it works. Toss of a coin, comes down tails, it don't work. So, toss of a coin, comes down tails, it don't work. These, rubbish, I'm just talking out my bottom. Toss of a coin, comes down heads. Just supposing for a second it works. Just supposing for 1 second, all of those, whatever, have been put into circulation, all of those coins, now they really go up in value. And just supposing all this Peter Rabbit hype and everything, and I'm right. Just supposing I'm right, just for a second, right? If that's the case, every single one of these packets, with that little rubbish bit of plastic, every single one of these packets now has a value of its own. It does. I know it's crazy, I know it's stupid, etc., but it does. So, and you have to understand an ephemera collectible market to understand that that is possible. You know, it's like, if you had a packet of Benson and Hedges cigarettes in the 1970s, which cost you 50p. In 1979, that would have cost you 50 pence. So, a packet of cigarettes. And you could have saved them all this time. You'd get 22 times your money on it, because now they're 11 quid a packet or 12 quid a packet. But, if you had have saved a packet of Benson and Hedges from 1979, it would not be worth 12 quid a packet now. It would be worth 25 quid a packet. Or 50 quid a packet. Because they don't make exactly the same packet in exactly the same way with exactly the same cigarette in it as they did in 1979. So that cigarette packet from 1979 is actually worth money, and it's worth more money if it's sealed and it's not, and the cigarettes haven't even been opened. You see, that's how ephemera works. Things that you throw away on a daily basis are actually worth money. Just a quick one, right? I mentioned this to somebody the other day. If you go into McDonald's and you go and get a McDonald's whatever for your kiddie, and it comes with those little plasticky whatever toys they come with, don't they? Sometimes you go and buy a Happy Meal or whatever they call it, and you get this free McDonald's toy. And every year, every now and again, they bring out a new toy. It'll be a new little Lego thing, or a new little this thing or that thing or whatever, right? That's the wind. Whoops. Anyway, they bring them out regular. Rubbish. Just little toys, rubbish, not worth anything. Huh? You're wrong. If you go out the next time that they do, and you can prove this to yourself, absolutely prove it. It'll take a while to prove it, but you can prove it to yourself. The next time you go in and buy one of those Happy Meals for your kids, and it comes with those free toys, take that free toy for that one meal and list it on eBay for £10. At some point, I promise you, in the future, be that in 6 months or 6 years, I don't know how long it will take, but the one thing I can guarantee you is someone will give you £10 for that. Now you'll go, that's crazy. But actually, no, it's not, because there'll be people in other countries that don't get the same toys in McDonald's. What they get is different to what we get, and what we get is different to what they get in America and Taiwan and Singapore and all the rest of it. So actually, they do have an intrinsic value of their own, because someone somewhere that collects them can't get hold of that one. They'll pay a tenner for it. If they don't pay a tenner for it in 6 months, they'll pay a tenner for it in 3 years. But at some point, the price will catch up. The market will catch up with the price that you set for it, and it will sell. See, there's ephemera for you. By the way, midway through, little advert, right? Trying to do a little bit of good for somebody that I know. And there's a fantastic reggae band that, if you like a bit of reggae, if you're not into reggae, obviously it's not your thing, but there's a fantastic reggae band that comes out of Letchworth Garden City, and a couple of the band members, they do a radio show on a Sunday around sort of 4, half 4, Nick and Tim, and it's Nick and Tim's Reggae Hour on North Hearts FM, and that's on northheartsradio.com. So North Hearts FM if you're on the old internet tuner thingy, and northheartsradio.com is the website, and they're on there. And their Facebook page is the SGs UK. So that's www.facebook.com/ and then the SGS UK, the SGs UK, and that'll take you straight to their Facebook page. Brilliant reggae band. I've got some signed albums, and I know they're brilliant because I listen to them all the time, and my brother's in the band, so I'm a little bit biased as well. But I have got some signed LPs and for theirs, and I might give them away if anybody's up for a bit of reggae. Introduce them, help them out. So anyway, go on there, like their page, that'd be nice for them. Thanks very much. So anyway, back to these, right? So, regardless of whether you think I'm nuts, regardless of whether you agree with me or disagree with me, regardless of whether, we've got in, whether you've put stuff down and you've not been in agreement and so on and so forth, that make no difference to me. But if you think this is rubbish and you think I'm an idiot, just don't bother partaking. However, if you want one of these, seriously, if you want one of these, with a letter of provenance. Now you're going to have to give us a couple of weeks delivery because, like I said, Logan's off, which I'm going to come to in a minute, and I've got to make a letter of provenance up. I've got to make it because it's a letter of provenance from us. So, but we'll make a letter of provenance, right, and we'll give it to you with this. Now, if you want one of these, I'll give 25 of them away free to the first 25 comments. No, not to the first 25 comments. That would be unfair on everybody else. I'll give 25 of these away free. And what I'll do is every now and again I'll count up the number of comments. I'll go to the random.org, I'll put the number of comments in that are there at the moment, and hit the button, and whatever number that says, I'll count down the comments, and that's the person that will win. And I'll just do that every time, and every now and again I'll make a post and say this person's got it, right? Now if you don't want it, you can leave a comment to say I'm just commenting, I don't want it, thanks, I think it's rubbish. Well, that's fair enough, but if you want it, we'll pick a comment and you want it. See what I'm saying anyway? So I'll come with a letter of provenance, so you can actually prove that this come from us. Now, on the other hand, letter of provenances themselves are a bit of a joke, because supposing that is your letter of provenance, so here's your letter, all nicely laid out, and it enclosed with that, who's to say in the future that the one that's actually added to the letter was the one that was originally with the letter? Same with a letter of provenance for a coin. Who knows that when that gets sold again, that it's sold with the original coin that was with the letter of provenance? How do we know that a substitute coin's not? Do you know? I mean, letter of provenances themselves don't mean the paper. Well, they're not worth the paper they're written on in a lot of ways. However, that said, I'm quite happy to do a letter of provenance. We'll make one. We'll find out what a letter of provenance exactly is properly worded, and we'll do one, right? I'm going to include it with this. So if you'd like one, even if you don't agree with what I'm saying, but you'd still like one of these, don't feel that, just because I've argued with Ian, he won't let me have one. You'll still go in the drawer if you want to, right? I'm fair like that, Don't care with whether we argue or not, or debate or not, or have different opinions or not. If you'd like one, you're still entitled to go in for the draw, okay? And I just want you to know that. That's why I'm saying that, because people might think, he won't let me have one. It makes no difference to me. All I want to do is get the word out there. I don't care how the word gets out there, and who I get the word to, as long as I get it out there. So 25 of these I'm going to put up for free. I'm going to have another 25 for free some other way, maybe on Facebook or a website or something or other. So I'm going to keep 25 back. So remember, there's 500 of these, so we've got 25 back. So now the other 450, just to show even more so the ridiculousness of it all, right? And the fact that we can actually turn rubbish into some kind of money, do some kind of good with it. Well, as I've said, Logan's off work now. I'm not a big business. He'll get his statutory sick pay, and we'll pay him his statutory sick pay for as long as he's off. not the minimum that you have to pay it for, but he'll get that for the whole length of time that he's off. That I can do. But what we can't afford to do, love him as much as we do, and respect him as much as we do, and appreciate all the work that he does, the one thing we can't afford to do is we can't afford to give him his full wage every week that he's off. Just can't afford to do that. Not in that position. If I was in that position, I would do it without a moment's thought. But I'm not in that position. So I came up with an idea. If you want to support this, but you can't put them out, you can't do this, you can't do that, but you don't mind putting a couple of quid into it, right? I'm going to sell these for £4.50 each. That includes the postage. And I'm covering myself just in case any go abroad. So, because that's expensive. When you put a large letter abroad, it's like over £3. In the UK, it's over £1. So I've put 450 of those up for sale on our site for £4.50 each. Now, before I get slated for like your money-making robot and all this and other names, yeah, well, yeah, in a way, I am. That's what I've done for 50 years. 50 years since I was 6 years old. That's what I've done. I've looked at something and I've thought about it and I've gone, I wonder, what if? And I'm doing exactly the same with that. I'm not doing any different to that I did with a goldfish when I was 6 years old. It's exactly the same. It's like, I wonder. So, £4.50 I'm going to sell them for. So, you know, if you just want to get involved for a bit of fun, whatever, brilliant. If you want to buy one of these just for a bit of fun, brilliant. If you want to buy one of these for a bit of seriousness, in case it actually, who knows, they might go up. They might end up with a value of 25 quid each in 10 years' time. They might end up with a value of tuppence. I don't know. But what I do know is, and this is what you'll know is, the money that's coming in from that, the £4.50 that you give me, that'll go towards Logan's wages. Because what I would like to do, if I could find a way of out of nothing being able to cover his wages for the time that he's off, then, oh my God, what would that mean to him? You know, for you people out there, I haven't been a paid employee for more years than I can remember, but for those of you that are a paid employee, that aren't in the services and aren't in the NHS and therefore can't have your wages paid for 6 months, etc., you know what that feels like. So it's not a pleasant place to be, you know, to go about. I know what it's like to go about wages. I don't know what it's like to be on the sick for so long when I've got a job and how people treat you or don't treat you. So if you want to if you just want to contribute towards this and go, well, okay, well, you know, I think you're talking out your bum for most of this, but I do want to contribute towards Logan because he does a wonderful job. I mean, he really, really does, and he will bend over backwards to make any customer happy as much as he possibly can, and he does. He works very, very hard. So if you want to contribute towards that, then have it for that. But like I say, give a couple of weeks for delivery on that, and the money from that, I promise you, will go towards Logan's wages. So if there's enough money coming in from that, which I think there will be, because I do think they've got an intrinsic collectible value on their own of ephemera. So as ephemera, they become collectible, and you know, whether they're collectible for pennies or collectible for pounds. But what I'll do is I'll put the money from that and I'll top up whatever we're paying him for statutory sick pay. I'll top that up to his wage for that week, and then if there's enough, I'll top his wage up the next week, and if there's enough, I'll top his wage up next week. Now if we sell the whole lot, chances are we can top his wages up every week he's off sick, and then he can come back to work refreshed and still have been paid. If not, he won't. He's still got his statutory sick pay. So that's what we're going to do with the money from that, because it is a crap idea selling crap, and yet at the same time it could be considered a bit of a shrewd idea because we've just turned rubbish into and put it into the ephemera market. Like I say, whether you believe it, whether you agree with it or not, or whether you don't agree with it, that's fine, you know. But let's get the debate going, and let's if you share it and share it with a negative comment, I don't mind. You know, please share, please share, please share. And any of you guys that have got your own video channels, you know, if you want one of them, just for a laugh, just to be able to put it on your own video channel and go, I got one of these. Here's me letter of providence. then get in there, put your name on this video, and we will start picking people off this over the coming weeks. Every now and again we'll pick another one, we'll pick another one, we'll pick another one. You know, obviously, if people think I am completely off my fruitny bits now, then you know, if I'm off my cake, you're not going to bother putting a comment on and saying that you want one. All right? So let's have a bit of fun with it, and at the same time as having a bit of fun with it, you know, let's do a little bit of good. So if you're into reggae, and I like listening to a bit of reggae when I'm sorting my coins, so if you like a bit of reggae, get onto that. And if you fancy helping us help Logan on the quiet, because he won't be watching these videos while he's off sick, he'll be sitting there watching cartoons. So we'll do that. This has been Ian, www.greatbritishcoinhunt.com. I hope I didn't prattle on for too long. Sugar. I forgot to tell you where to buy it. So if you go on our website, www.thegreatbritishcoinhunt.com, immediately you're on our website. The page that shows you now is the category called Fantastic Investments. And it's got various investment things on there. You'll see my ugly mug on there as well. One of those listings is for these. That's where I've put it for now. One of those listings for these. So I don't even have to give you the link, because all you have to do is go on to www.thegreatbritishcoinhunt.com. Just go on there, and it will be the first page that you see. Many thanks. Bye.